NFTs burst into the limelight when Meta Kovan, aka Vignesh Sundaresan, bought an NFT for a digital art produced by Beeple for $69.3 million. The dramatic growth of NFTs is a very 2021 thing. Only in the last 1 year, as of 7th September 2021, NFTs recorded transactions of more than $3.6 billion with an average sales value of more than $2,000. 55% of that $3.6 billion, that is around $2 billion, was recorded in the 30 days between 9th August and 7th September 2021. Gartner's 2021 Hype Cycle for Emerging Technologies termed NFTs as at the peak of inflated expectations. As it happens for all new technologies, the reality may be lost in the irrational exuberance. So I looked into what NFTs really are. You probably already know that NFT stands for non-fungible token. Fanfare of NFTs is tied to the phrase non-fungible. We'll talk about what is fungible and non-fungible later, but first, let us talk about what NFTs fundamentally are. They are blockchain tokens primarily on the Ethereum blockchain. What is a token? A token is a virtual value reserve on a blockchain network. What kind of value a token can represent depends on the token standard that is used to create the token. The popular token standards in Ethereum are ERC20, ERC721, and ERC777. ERC stands for Ethereum Request for Comment. Our focus is on ERC20 and ERC721 as they are the standards for fungible and non-fungible tokens. So what is non-fungibility? When it comes to Ethereum tokens, non-fungible does not mean unique, but rather uniquely identifiable. NFTs in theory are not comparable to snowflakes, but to tracking dollar notes with their unique serial numbers. ERC721 describes NFT as a non-fungible token is used to identify something or someone in a unique way. Please note that NFTs can be used to identify something or someone in a unique way. What is identified is not necessarily unique. So how are NFTs different from fungible tokens? Let us compare the fungible token standard ERC20 with the non-fungible token standard ERC721. ERC721 token standard presents two primary changes over ERC20: unique token ID and ability to attach asset metadata. Let us talk about them one by one. First, unique token ID. Each ERC721 token carries a globally unique token ID for a particular contract, unlike ERC20 tokens. Let us understand the role of token ID by comparing the transfer function between ERC20 and ERC721. Notice the transfer function calls value in ERC20 and token ID in ERC721. Value is a variable representing the number of tokens to transfer, and token ID calls to a specific token. A real-world comparison may be like transferring $100 and transferring $1 with a specific serial number printed on it. To drive the point of token ID home, let us compare two transactions, one for a fungible token and another for a non-fungible one. Here is a comparison of two transfers, one for USDT stablecoin, a fungible token, and another for CryptoKitties non-fungible token. You will notice that the fungible token requires value parameter and NFT requires token ID parameter. Now let us talk about asset metadata. ERC-721 allows attaching asset metadata with a token as a JavaScript schema. The metadata gives the option to add some specifics to the token, such as title, properties, and link to an image of the asset. Please note that an NFT does not contain the asset itself but links to an asset. The blockchain does not store the digital asset for which NFT is created. So the question arises, are NFTs unique? Do the properties and links make an NFT unique? In other words, can there be multiple NFT tokens with the same metadata? To test that, I created an NFT contract in Ropsten testnet, Sam's NFT. Then I minted a couple of tokens with the same metadata and nothing stopped me from doing that. It was surprising. Don't NFTs need to be unique? It seems that different NFTs can be minted using the same asset. Some people on social media seemed confused about this as well. Another question is, who guarantees that only a rightful owner of a digital asset can create an NFT? What if the assets used to create NFTs are themselves stolen? Many artists have reported seeing their art being stolen and sold in NFT form without their consent. In some cases, viral social media posts are being converted to NFTs without the consent of the authors. TechCrunch reports a Twitter bot known as Tokenized Tweets went on a minting spree earlier this year. Its policy of creating NFTs from viral tweets without authors' consent or even notification caused an outcry from several actors, artists, and other creators. The uniqueness and scarcity of the NFTs come down to the owner of the asset and or any centralized authority who can attest that only the rightful owners can create NFTs and the assets are indeed scarce. The technology behind NFT ensures that the token is uniquely identifiable. The assets that NFTs represent do not need to be unique. And for that matter, that assets may not be absolutely secured. While the NFT tokens cannot be modified, the entity the NFT pointing to can be swapped or deleted. In one recent case, as part of an elaborate troll, an artist selling NFTs on OpenSea swapped out modern artwork for pictures of oriental rugs. Okay, now consider a central authority guarantees that NFTs are being minted only for unique assets by rightful owners, and the authority makes sure that the assets referred by the NFTs are not changed. What exactly do we legally own when we own an NFT? Let us talk about that in the next part.